Okay, Peter. This is being billed as the season of the injuries, the medical emergencies. So if I were out there, I would want to keep the doctor on my tribe as long as possible. So what's wrong with
Really?
these guys? Why did they vote you out? Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, get out the arrogant jerk. Come on. She's incompetent and clueless. I'd be great to keep around because I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what they're thinking. They're nuts. No. Gameplay, I could be consistent with what's portrayed and say, well, they're getting me out because I had a good chance of winning. But in my mind, that's not reality. The reality was they're getting me out because I was too unpredictable. And if they didn't get me out when they could, they couldn't rely on me later. And there's a certain element of truth to that. I think I was unpredictable because I was grasping at anything to get my game further, and nothing was working.
Right. You did kind of go after Aubry and Joe, but at the same time, you were a very loyal person, very loyal to Liz. Even after she was voted out, you wanted to get revenge on the people that took her out.
It's complicated because they took her out without notifying me, not that they needed to, but I just felt I was blindsided. But after that, it wasn't really getting her out. I get that. I was treated like a second-class citizen at that beach. They're out. And I felt like the only reason they kept me around wasn't because they valued me or provided dignity as being a human, but because of their self-preservation, because I would win and help them win challenges just for my brawn, so to speak. And reading into that, I was like, great, you can get them out and you can bring me back in the group, but they didn't. And it only increased my, I don't know, I was just really mad at them. It just increased my annoyance with them.
Right. And it looks like you were done in by Aubry there at the end. She changed her vote at the last second. It was very dramatic to watch on TV. What was going through your mind when she must have taken a long time up at that voting booth?
Well, in my mind, the best opportunity I had was a split vote. That's like sharing a stick of gum with someone. That sucks. So for me, I was like, you know what? This is terrible. This is my best opportunity, a split vote, and to choose a rock. It's out of my control. So I kind of I was just passive. I was like the goat coming to slaughter. What could I do?
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you've had months to think about this. If you could have changed one part of your game, what would you have done differently?
Oh man, it's hard to start off with, and that's something I've been reflecting on a lot. I've told other people this, when you're pegged as a person, it's hard to lose that. I was pegged as this arrogant jerk, and I had this scarlet letter, and my face was painted with it all over. I should have focused more on being more sincere and losing that false pre-story that was provided by my brain tribe members to everyone else. I tried as hard as I could to campaign with everyone but the brains when I was at the swap for them to at least give me a vote, give me something that I can go with, and no one would confirm anything. And if they would have just said, yeah, we'll go with you, Peter, that would have worked. So, when I reflect, what could I have done more to make them just give me a thumbs up? I'm still debating that. They wouldn't budge.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it was a smart move on Aubry's part to get you out, or was it kind of she wasn't thinking long term?
It's a difficult decision for Aubry because if she would have kept me around, she would have had numbers because I would have been with her. My life was based on what way the vote went. If she would have kept me around, I would have been loyal to her because I would have believed that after the whole Liz debacle that she really had us as a brain component in her best interest. If I would have went with the other people and made it to the merge, the brains would have been toast in my mind.
It's so funny. I think we all kind of underestimated Aubry after, I think it was the very first episode. She was having that breakdown and the heat exhaustion. I'm like, oh, she won't last long, but there she is.
That's where I lost her, though. That heat exhaustion, I doctored her. They didn't show any of that, and I was with her and walked her around, and medical was there. And the conversation of medevacing her started. I'm like, no, she's fine. It's just anxiety. But that night, she was still freaking out, and Neil took her out, and they slept on the beach, and Neil and Aubry had that bond, and that's when I lost her. because I thought I was getting a bond with her, but that same night, Neil got her under his wing.
What can you tell us about Neil? We don't see him much on the show, but we do predictions at Gold Derby, and he is predicted to actually win the whole season.
Well, that's why I want to get him out, because he's, in my opinion, a clever, smart, good social game guy. But I've noticed as I was out there, that dialogue of untrustworthy and conniving was starting with his storyline, which I loved because that's great. But what do I think of Neil? I mean, in the game, he's in a good position right now, a really good position.
Joe kind of went crazy on you last night, being very aggressive, accusing you of trying to vote him out, which was a little bit true. What was going through your mind when he was confronting you like that in the open?
I was flabbergasted because, well, where did he get that from? Well, let's see here. I just got done walking out of the jungle with Ty. Ty went straight to Joe to tell him what I told. I mean, I was trying to conceive this plan to get Aubry out. Ty went straight to Joe and Aubry and told them my plan. So when I went back to camp, Joe's on me like a pit bull. I'm thinking, like, why would Ty go straight to them and tell them what we just talked about? Joe's like, you're trying to get me out. And at that time, I was like, no, I was trying to get Aubry out.
Do you think you were portrayed accurately by the editing? You mentioned the arrogance. Do you think that's really you, or was it just, were you playing a character?
I don't know if I was playing a character, but I was made into a character.
Right.
There is a component where that arrogance and cockiness is there, but it's also self-effacing and jovial. Like, it's a joke. Like, the things that come out of my mouth, like, oh my God, I could bench press your car. That's a joke. It's never supposed to be taken seriously. And if there's a two-sided conversation, which unfortunately confessionals aren't, someone could challenge me and say, Peter, you have no freaking control of the game. And I would laugh and I'd be like, you are exactly right. I have no idea what's going on.
Right. So there's still 11 people in this game. Who are you rooting for to win? Like, if you could write someone's name down to win $1 million, who would it be?
Sydney.
Oh, interesting. How come?
She is in a good position. She's a hard worker. And from the energy I got, and I'm just taking it from a game's perspective, she was a dangerous player because she's not necessarily under the radar, but she's not so outlandish that she's an easy target. And she's got a good story, a young African-American female that works. That's a lot of good things going for her. Right.
And she actually has all three elements of the season. She has the brawn, she has the brain, she has the beauty.
No, that's Debbie. What are you talking about?
The ex-model Debbie.
And I was with Debbie, and I still don't know what she did for a living. I mean, I love Debbie. I like all of them. I just don't know what Debbie did for a living. When she goes home and she gets a paycheck in the mail, where is it coming from?
It's her modeling gig on the side.
Have you seen those modeling pictures?
No, I haven't. Maybe I should Google that.
Google Debbie on top of the Camaro, and then take your computer and burn it.
Oh my gosh, I will do that as soon as we are done. What did you think of? Sorry, what did you think of the whole brawn versus brain versus beauty twist? Did you like that twist, or did you wish they had done something different for your season?
I absolutely hated it. Here's why, right? Just being on the Brains tribe, we're not athletic, or at least that's the thought, right? We're not athletic, and yet majority of the challenges are going to be athletic. I had the oldest person and the thinnest person, and then Brains, which, again, we're not athletic. So right off the bat, I was pigeonholed into this difficult tribe. And then for us to say Brains, we get this herd mentality that we have this mental superiority over other people, which is dangerous. And you believe it, too. So I was frustrated on many levels. I just want to play the game with people I want to play, not be told I'm a brain, and because I don't feel like a freaking brain. Give me a break. I'm just someone who went to school longer. But, here I am, and now it's the brains versus the brawn, and I've got brawn in me. Neil has brawn in him. It's not fair. I wanted it to be more loose and open than structured. Right.
I get that. And before we send you off, is there anything that you were hoping to get off your chest today that no one's really brought up in some of the other interviews? Like, is there something that you just wanted to, maybe something that wasn't shown on TV, or something about your gameplay that you wanted to just, you know, get out there?
Well, I mean, off my chest is, you know, all the clips are hate on Peter and he's arrogant, but the cast members out there also were really nice to me. I mean, they really did like me, and what they didn't show is how many freaking hours I spent holding clinic in the morning when we got up, looking at everyone's wounds, taking care of people and sincerely doctoring them without, even if I was seriously a conniving player, I'd say, you know what, that abscess is fine, knowing that they'd get medevac, but I actually treated people so that can prolong their existence.
Right. I mean, if you were this arrogant person, you would have been like, oh, medevac her, get her out of here, you know, just because it means you would be closer.
Yeah, I mean, like, I get the arrogant, but show me clips. They've got overconfident, clueless clips, but show me where I'm actually, because arrogant brings a sense of superiority over someone else. And I'm not ever saying, like, Aubry is an idiot or Joe is an idiot. Like, I don't say personal shots at them.
Exactly. Well, Peter, it was great talking to you today. We hope to see you at the reunion next month.
That's right. You will.
All right. Have a good day.
Yeah, take care.
Bye-bye.